Right, with the Bendigo Greyhound Cup coming up on Friday, October 11, I thought we'd take the opportunity to, one, promote it with the GM of the Bendigo Greyhounds, Charlton Hindle, joining me. Hello, Charlton.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me.
No, always enjoy working with you guys. It's where we cut our teeth. And I say we, Daniel Hibberd, the man of the day. Hello to you, my friend.
Hello, Paul. Yes, thanks for putting that up again. It's just going around the world as it always does. But yes, no, looking forward to Friday night. Looking forward to the Bendigo Cup, and it's a great night. Great set of fields. Great final for the main race. But there's a couple of other really good races, and a couple of really important races on the program too. So yeah, it's going to be a rip night.
No, it is indeed. And I was being cheeky just then with the man of the day, but you are the voice of the Greyhounds. But any truth to the matter that they had you on RSN to discuss being a man for the day? Not your form and not your team, just your get up.
Yeah, they just wanted to talk about what I was wearing, and that's the way of the world now. It's what the racing coverage is all about. It's about who you're wearing and who you're dressed by. So yeah, we got stuck into that today, but yeah, it was a good day up there at Nathalia Show on Saturday.
Man of the people, no doubt about you, Charlton. There's plenty going on. There's got a lot of activations happening for the day as well, or for the whole night. People to get to. Gates open at 6 o'clock. Just a couple of these here, and we might touch on them again at the end of it. But casino tables has got me a wee bit interested. Cash giveaways, the Collingwood football players. Well, I'm not worried about that part too much, but there is plenty happening.
Yeah, well, as you just touched on, we'll have Jack Crisp on track as well, so he'll be a good bloke to have around. So you'll get opportunities to meet him and get a photo with him. But yeah, as you said, the casino tables as well. So trying something a little bit different. So just in the past the post lounge there, we're going to have blackjack and roulette set up. So yeah, that'd be good if you want a bit of a break from the greyhound racing or looking for something to do between races. Go play a bit of blackjack, and we'll have the bar open down there as well.
It sounds like a lot of fun. TAB giveaways with Sportsbet, of course, great supporters and sponsors of the Bendigo Greyhound Racing Club. You got DJ happening, Lions Club Barbecue Bar and Bistro is always open with great food. Plenty to happen there. Free entry, that's always key, and gates open at 6 o'clock. So we want to make sure people get there. At Bendigo, the weather is starting to warm up, although this morning may have just fired that a little bit, but the weather is definitely starting to warm up. Charlton, we're going to skip over the first couple of races. We don't want to skip over your sponsors and the people that contribute so much to the club. Race 1, the Made Solutions, Electrical and Data.
Yep, yeah, Damien and the team there, they do an unreal job. So they've been supporters for a long time. Yeah, they're fantastic for our club. So it's good to give them some recognition that they deserve.
Hanrahan Plumbing, they've been supporters for a long time, those guys.
Yeah, they have. They're best plumbers here in Bendigo, the Hanrahan boys. So really look at they're very good, and they again deserve the recognition they deserve.
Shimmer Shine at stud. I was lucky enough to see a lot of Shimmer Shine when we were doing the live broadcast. He was a brilliant dog. I'm tipping he's going to be a good stud dog as well.
Yeah, well, these ones are coming through the ranks now, aren't they? They're really starting to show some talent. So, yeah, he's got a good crop of two, 3-year-old greyhounds coming through now. So, yeah, he's and again, massive supporter of the club. So happy to, keep the relationship there, which has been good.
And then also the GRV Vic Breeder heats. They're always very, very popular as well. And GRV, of course, great supporters of Bendigo and Greyhound Racing is everywhere because they are the main ones. Hiya, gentlemen. We've got to make sure we look after them in that sense. The Battlers Cup consolation. We spoke about this, Charlton and Daniel, actually, the fact that four dogs actually missed out on making the Battlers Cup final. So I'm tipping this consolation is going to be one very intriguing race and an intriguing betting race, I would imagine, guys.
It will be, Paul. It's these dogs. I think I said this to you on Monday night. The whole series, the amount of nominations that come through for this series is off the charts, and I mean, to win this series, to win this Battlers Cup is probably just as hard, if not harder, to win a Melbourne Cup or a $1 million chase or anything like that, because the Greyhounds aren't the quickest, but they are all around that similar ability. And to even make the final is an achievement in itself, because it's so hard, and the fact that if you do win, you still might not make it is even more so. So this consolation's a very competitive field, and as I say, you've got dogs that have got reasonable form, having had a win in their last start or a second. So the markets obviously aren't out or anything for this race just yet, but it is going to be a tricky affair to sort of work out, because they're so even.
A couple of New South Wales dogs in there as well. And Charlton, we mentioned there before about the bar and bistro being open. The bar, Carol Jackson, she might just be a little bit sidetracked for this race, mate. You might not get a beer. You might not get a beer while this race is on.
Yes, Carol. She's got a couple of good ones at the moment. So good to see her represented in the consolation final. So, but she'll be run off her feet hopefully on Friday night as well, and hopefully she'll have something to celebrate after race 5. So she's in with a good chance. Ran very very well and drawn a good box. So she'll be thereabouts for sure.
Any early thoughts on who might win?
For me, I'm going to stick with the red with Kevy Ashton. I thought it ran a very good second. So, it actually won its heat. So, it was very unlucky not to make the final. But, drawing the red. And Kevy Ashton, he's a good old fellow who supports his club very well. So, I'd like to see him get the win.
Man for the day?
It's going to be hard to beat Zapatron from that inside draw. I mean, it won its heat from the pink, so which is certainly no easy task. I'm just having a look at the speed in the race. I'm thinking Take a Shine, number 7, is probably going to have some early toe. It also won its heat last week. It won from the red, goes to the 7, but for the final. But it has won 3 races from boxes 7 and 8. So the draw's not a major concern with it. It's probably going to be the one with the early speed. If it can get across, it'll certainly set it up for it. So thinking Take a Shine can win the consolation.
Very good. The Battlers Cup, Charlton, Daniel said there before about the quality of dog that is in this. You guys as a club must be wrapped. And I know interviewing you the other day there, you're blown away by a couple of the times that were coming out. So people are still dead set targeting these, even if they are with that, I suppose, lesser greyhound.
Yeah, for sure. Aston Ophelia was the one for me that was most impressive. I think it ran a 23.88, and that was when we were during the interview. So it'll be very hard to beat. Drawn box 7, so I think it's got the pace to cross and lead. But as you did touch on, like, it's a very prestigious race that obviously gets a lot of attention, and some good dogs have come out of it as well. One from Sam Webb's a couple of years ago. It's gone on to racing grade 5s since then, and for memory, Peter Craig won it last year with He's No Slouch. I think he ran pretty well in it as well, so it's gone on to do bigger and better things as well. So it's definitely a good stepping stone race as well for the battlers, so it's good.
Another of the races, these were heats run as well. This is a sports bet, and they are your major sponsors, Charlton. So we'll make sure we look after these guys. But the final, great prize money, two and a quarter to the winner. And again, another great little field assembled here. And the beauty of it is you've got your heats, so you've got your times of dogs. I keep saying horses, dogs racing each other. So you've got a form line to be able to line up there, Charlton.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's the heats were run on Friday night, so you got a good look at them then. And if one took your fancy that you liked, it's a good one to follow. Obviously Aeroplane Mode, he was very impressive in his heat win. I think once he stays wide, the box suits him. He'll be storming down the track, and will be very hard to beat. But no, we're very happy with the field for this Grade 5 final. Thanks to Sportsbet.
Daniel, your thoughts? Having a quick look at it.
Yeah, Aeroplane Mode's probably, you look at those times, and if it's going at 23.88 in a heat, you think it's going to be at the top of the pops there for the final. Better Banjo's going well. He went 23.99. So, anytime you break 24, you've got a fair bit of ability. I mean, the lower you go into the 23s, obviously the more elite you are. But if you're breaking 24, you're certainly well above average. And it should be a competitive final. It's a good race. And I think either the 6 or the 4 are the ones to beat there.
Stick with you, Daniel, just for the sec. The Hip Pocket Spring Cup final. These are good mixed dogs, 4 and 5. Terrific prize money, 10K to the winner, and got a field that resembles the prize money.
This is a ripper race, and there's a lot of intrigue about it as well because we've got a potential top liner of well, he could go over all 3 distances, Kenya or Class. He could be a sprinter, he could be a middle distance one, or as possibly the way that they look like going is a stayer. And he'll need to be good to win from the pink in this race. Ethanol volume is going very well, and won its heat also of this series. So, and it has been in group finals already in its career. So, Kenya All Classes. The Cup's the draw card, the big draw card race of the night. But this guy is very much a bums on seats sort of greyhound. He's got that sort of aura about him. He's got a picket fence of winning form. He's won 12 of 18, and he's got the world at his feet. And it just depends on which direction they decide to go with him, whether it's staying, whether it's sprinting, or over the middle distance. So, looking forward to this race very much because I think it'll give a real indication of where he's at, and it'll also show us where ethanol volume's at because he's going extremely well as I say, he's been in some big races in recent months. So this Spring Cup is very, very competitive.
Charlton, you're formed. Does the 8 favour this dog? I know it's over the 660, so it's not as big an issue, but does the 8 favour this dog, or is it the flight hindrance?
No, I think he boxes perfectly for this race. So watching him on Friday night, it was his first look from the 660, and it's quite a short run into the first corner here. And you could just tell that he got a little bit lost and he wanted to run a little bit wide. So I think drawing box 8, he stays out of all the trouble there, and he can take the corner a little bit wider like he'd like to. And then once he gets around the 425 metre box area, you just watch him. He will show his class there, and he'll be very good to watch. And as Dan said, ethanol volume, he was also very impressive in his heat, and he'll be better for the run as well. So you watch those two go head to head down the back straight and come into the final home straight. It'll be a classic contest, I reckon.
We'll be expecting the man of the moment to come up with some special call as they're getting towards the line.
Yeah, I'll back him in for sure.
I'll have to have something planned now, won't I?
Right, Charlton. The sports bet Bendigo Greyhound Cup, the final to be run at 9:42. A little bit of a late night for people, but you just have to look at the form, and you can just see the picket fences there next to all of these dogs. You guys must be stoked.
Yeah, wrapped with the field. Saturday night, the heats was a phenomenal card of racing and 7 really good heats. As a club, we are absolutely wrapped with this field. There's potential class or Group 1 dogs as we go into the Dream Chasers Festival. So a lot of them will target a couple of big races in there. So this is a very good stepping stone for them. I don't really know where to look to try to pick a winner. There's speed in the middle, which is exciting, and then little past the buck, he can sometimes miss the kick early, and then you've got the class runners on the outside. It shapes up to be a really good race.
Is the 7 a worry for mile a minute?
Because he's not the quickest away, but if he stays out of trouble early, his last 200 metres on Saturday was pretty impressive. So he could maybe stay out of the trouble out there and run over the top of him. So I'll give him a bit of a chance out there. It's not the worst box for him, I don't think.
Daniel, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is about as good a cup final as there's been in terms of evenness. I mean, you get some races where you've seen some pretty short favourites go round, and we haven't got that in this race. Uh, Looking at the fixed odds, Aston Fantastic's the favourite at 350. Hotel Whiskey One's at 440. Pass the Buck 450. Zeus Thunderbolt 5. Matlock 6. Mockfish the first reserves at 650. Description the second reserves at $10. Mile a Minute's at 12. Boracay Storm 14. And Unleash in Miami's at 21. So there's some pretty big odds about greyhounds that obviously had to win their heat to get through. I ended up going with Hotel Whiskey One. I thought his performance was really brilliant. He was the fastest heat winner, 23 and 54 from the pink. Now, I know he draws the yellow tonight, but there is a lot of speed in this race. And I just think that he might be able to get himself into a decent enough position around that first corner. I think the dog not to touch in this is Past the Buck, because I just think he's going to get from the inside, because I just think he's going to get swamped across. If he misses at a half length, well, Matlock will be past him in an instant, and there's so much pressure on the outside that they might just get a bit jammed up on that first corner. I'm just thinking that Hotel Whiskey One might get around him. The other one is Zeus Thunderbolt, who, if he keeps a straight line and there's any bumping underneath, he could just sweep around and take the lead and be off and gone. So they're the two I'm going for. Predominantly the yellow. I just thought he was brilliant in his heat. He's been absolutely amazing in his last three runs. He got beat back on the 13th at Bendigo when he was an even money favourite. But since then, his three runs at Sandown and then twice at Bendigo have been brilliant. And I just think he's in the right sort of frame of mind to take out a race like this, and then potentially aim for bigger riches as we get towards the summer.
Which is scary. Charlton, your thoughts, your selections?
So on Saturday I was heavily against Matlock. I could not see it being as short as it was in its heat, and it jumped from the 7 and went straight to the front and held on very strongly. And the fact that it's drawn box 2, as Dan said, I think it can pass the buck and just hold the rail out. And I'm actually going to be with Matlock. I think it'll be strong late, and once he's on the bunny, he's a strong dog.
Yeah, it's a good field, great field, like you say.
And that's the thing, Paul. You can have discussions about all these dogs and find reasons why they can all win, and not get criticised for why you picked it, because it's just that sort of race. You can't look at any of these greyhounds and say, well, they can't win it, it's just that's how good the race is. The outside, as I mentioned, was Unleash in Miami. I mean, if he was only fair in his heat, he still
14,
won.
14 starts for 10 wins, and is the outsider.
He's got so much upside, but he was 23.95 in his heat, and we sort of talking amongst ourselves on the track on Saturday. It's like, well, it'd be hard to see him actually winning it. It'd be some sort of turnaround to see him go a lot quicker to win the final. But it's just that sort of race that anything could win it without surprising, because it's such a deep final. We didn't get like a 30-1 or a 40-1 pop win its heat and get through. We got all the ones that we wanted to get through. Past the Buck scraped through as the fastest second, and I must say he scraped through by a thousandth of a second. It wasn't as if he he was a clear fastest second. He got in by the skin of his teeth ahead of Mockfish. So it's a super race. Can't wait for it on Friday night. And as I say, all 8 of them could win it without surprising.
One of the guys on 927, he was tipping mile a minute. That's where I jumped all over that. I thought, I'll sound like I know what I'm on about. And what you say, Dan? Third last. But I mean, the guy, I think it was George, one of them. That was before Barry George, but he gave him a real chance, and that's why I was wondering, is 7 a good or bad draw? And then you said it's third last in the betting, Dan.
Well, it's and his form is actually really, really good because he's the national straight track champion. He won that at Murray Bridge, and then he won the Hillsville Cup. He was the winner of the Group 2 Hillsville Cup. So his form line is about as good as it can be, and yet he's an outsider in this race. That just shows how deep it is.
Yeah, it was Hillsville might have been on yesterday, and that's actually where I heard it. So they were actually calling it, and they were wishing him well. Last couple of races there. Thanks for your services, Ronnie Hawkswell. I don't know if he gets enough credence out there, but growing up and even in my before being married, he was the voice. He was the doyen of greyhound racing. Both you gentlemen would have to say that, and you knew when you heard his voice, you knew exactly what was going on the radio. It was he was probably before. I hate to say it for Hawk, but before Sky Channel, a lot of that stuff too. So he's been the voice of racing. So well done to Bendigo for recognising one of the great voices, Charlton.
Yeah, no, he's what he's done for the greyhound racing in the past 50 years. It's phenomenal. So as a club, we've invited him up for the night, and he'll be here in attendance. And as I said, named a race after him for thanking him for his services he's not just to Bendigo, but for greyhound racing in general. When I was having a chat to him, I think he said he's called roughly about 10 Bendigo Cup finals. So he knows this place very well, and it's the least we could do just to acknowledge the champion that he is.
And Daniel, you'll have to lock the door, mate. You never know. He might get the elbows out and push you down the stairs. He might call one more cup.
He might be looking to do that. He has actually knocked on my door at Bendigo before. I got the shock of my life when he turned up one day. I think he was dropping his daughter off to uni, and he knocked on the door. And that was basically, I think, 3 or 4 months into my calling. So he actually knocked on the door and introduced himself. I hadn't met him before up until that point. So it was a bit of a shock that day. But look, he, as you said, Paul, if you were in a car driving to the races going back much before the spread of racing being on demand on your phone or whatever, you only had to listen to the radio and hear his voice and know exactly what was going on, that it was a greyhound race, wherever that was. And hearing his story, with the amount of travel that he does, I mean, I might complain about the miles that I do it from time to time, but what he used to do is just insane in this day and age. But he did it because he loved it, and he got to where he was because he did the work. And he thoroughly deserves all the recognition that he's been getting over the last few weeks. And I think he's got a race at Bendigo. I think there's a race at Sandown named after him on Thursday as well. So all of the clubs sort of getting behind him and thanking him for his service to the industry.
No, absolutely. Manning's Greyhound Complex been a huge supporter. Charlton, they've been a huge part of Bendigo. Unfortunately for Scotty, and that as long as I've been in Bendigo, and that is 40-something years, Manning's Greyhound Complex has been there. I don't know how long it's actually been a part of it out on the back road anyway to Eagle Hawk. So they've been a part of it, great supporters. Also, I think Scotty's probably got to leave the buggy behind and just cut a couple of laps himself out a bit more. Don't you think, Chubb?
He's a great man, old Scotty. He'll do anything for greyhound racing and the club sort of thing. So, what he does out there is obviously very beneficial for us as a club and the greyhound racing industry as a whole. So, to have him on board and us working very well together, it's a great little combo here in Bendigo. So, he's happy we've got a race name for him on Friday night.
And then the Jared Larkin concreting. Jared, as long as I've been doing stuff like this with Troy, he's been a part of you guys. He's a passionate greyhound man. He loves the sport. So, of course, he had to get a race named after him.
Yeah, of course, one of the great men in greyhound racing, Jared. So he's concreter by trade, got a very successful concreting business, and he'll be here on Friday night enjoying himself. So hopefully he's picked a few winners by the time his race comes on.
Hopefully, I otherwise he might be a bear with a sore head. Boys, well done. Best of the night. Throw yours under the bus. You got a best for the night, either of you two or not?
Look,
Definitely not.
Both went very quiet. I've definitely thrown them over.
I think. Look, I mean, it depends on the price. I mean, I'd want to see the market, but if Kangaroo class is around $1.80, something like that, I'd be taking that. I think yeah, that wouldn't be a bad price of it. I'm not sure what it'll be because I think ethanol volume drawn down low might sort of make it a bit more closer in the market. So, but anything short of that than that, you probably wouldn't touch him. But if he's around $1.80 or he gets out a little bit further, I'd be backing him there, and I'd be just backing Hotel Whiskey one each way in the cup. I don't think you'll go too far wrong there.
In the squeeze,
Having
your thoughts?
having a quick look at the fields now, I see that Bunstorm in race 10, it's drawn box 2, so it'll jump and find the rail, I think, and it's a Group 3 winner. Won the Adelaide Oaks a couple of weeks ago and ran in the Bendigo Cup heats, but I think it was too short for it. So getting back over 500, drawing box 2. Hopefully you can get even money for it, but I don't like your chances in that field. But so I reckon that one will be hard to beat. And in the cup, I was impressed with Matlock, so I'm going to stick with him each way.
All right, boys, thank you. Daniel Pell, the second most famous Pell now. Benny's outdone him after the video I posted of him getting beat. I think it's at something like 35,000 views. He's over the moon. Benny is now. So Buddha's now the second most famous Pell. But again, they're great supporters as well, and have been for a long, long time. Daniel, happy calling.
Thank you, Paul.
Do you have your clothes sorted? Like, do you have someone to dress you now at all?
Well, I'm hoping that there might be some good stuff coming. Peter Jackson, if they're watching, won't knock back anything there. Although I probably shouldn't say that. I probably should be talking more of having a brain fade here. I've got some nice clothes. Just completely stuffed this up. Completely forgotten what I'm wearing at the moment. But anyway.
Not Bendigo Hip Pocket, who are great supporters of Bendigo.
No, it's not Hip Pocket. No, it's not Hip Pocket.
But it is. But they're great supporters, so you can go there.
Well, hopefully they can fit me out. That'll be all right.
Yeah, they can't outdo this job though. That's for sure. So yeah, I promise I won't put it up anymore.
I'm just gonna hang. I've got to find somewhere to put the sash. I've got to hang the sash up and on my winner's wall or something.
I expect to see it on loose lines one time. Don't you worry about that. Charlton, good luck to the Bendigo Greyhound Racing Club. Hopefully you have a great night. I'm going to be there Friday night. I'll definitely be sticking my head into the casinos. But hopefully for the club you have a great night. Well done. And as I said, don't forget everything that is coming up that is on the casino tables, your cash giveaway. If you're missing your front teeth, there'll be Jack Crisp there for you to see. You've got a couple other club challenges. We've got that football, the club challenge. Now, Charlton, throw you under the bus. Do you know who's got what?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I'll try and remember off the top of my head. Yeah. We've got our club community challenge, which is a great initiative that I think will draw a lot of people onto the track on Friday night. So we'll have Mount Pleasant Football Netball Club. They've got Pass the Buck. We've got Bridgewater Football Netball Club. They've got Matlock. Mandarin Cricket Club. They've got Unleash in Miami. United Cricket Club have got Aston Fantastic. South Bendigo Football Netball Club have got Hotel Whiskey 1. Heathcote Golf Club have got Barricade Storm. Eagle Hawk Cricket Club have got number 8 Zeus Thunderbolt. And 7 escapes me. Mile a minute.
I'm actually giggling. I think you've rattled off 3, maybe 4 cricket clubs there. Imagine if they get it. Like, this is at 20 minutes to 10, just about. So quarter to 10, we'll say. There could be some late scratchings at the cricket the next day.
Absolutely. And it's Bendigo Cricket Club, so another one that have got the number 7 mile a minute. So it's a great initiative. So what happens if all the clubs that have been selected will win some kind of prize money, but the winner will actually get $3,000 to go towards their local club. So it'll go a long way in the cricket field for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And it's a great incentive to get people there as well. Well done to the club, thinking outside the square. Thanks, boys. we just want everyone to be there and have a bit of fun. If you want to back a winner, go your hardest. But at the end of the day, we want people to be there and enjoy the great greyhound racing.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers.